Hello, North Carolina juniors and seniors. My name is David Dash. I am the trumpet professor at the University of North Carolina School of the Arts. The first thing to think about is the emotion of this piece. So the words that come to my mind are celebratory and joyful. When we get to the next spot, make sure that you're not pushing on the sound, but you really take the dynamic back and play a little more lightly on the triplets. Here's a little trick you can use if your fingers are not exactly coordinated with your tongue. You can separate those triplets into groups of 3. So first what we're going to do is put little fermatas on all the ones out of the groups of 3. Of course, next we'll do fermatas on all the 2s. Finally, we'll do fermatas on all the 3s. You can apply this technique to all of the triplets throughout this piece. For the next section, make sure you're ready to play the high B flat, so practice the B flat arpeggio first. This way, when you start with your breath in measure 69 at the piano low D, you're really ready to play that high B flat right away. Make sure you take a deep breath and commit to a very long phrase. You're really thinking of blowing through this entire 2-line passage. For those 2 measures in measures 75 and 76, make sure you know the theory. So it's just E flat major in 75 and D sharp minor in 76, same key as E flat minor, right? So the only note that changes is G in 75s becomes F sharp in 76. Practice these slowly until you get it right. For this next section at 88, make sure to change the vibe entirely. It becomes much more tender, the dynamic comes down a lot, and make sure you take a deep breath and really sustain through with beautiful, long, long lines. Consider where you're going to breathe, and when you do breathe, make sure you take in a healthy amount so that you can really continue to sustain through. For the B flat to G in measure 99, if you're having a little bit of trouble connecting those 2 notes, here are a couple of tactics. Tactic number 1, play it slowly. Tactic number 2, put chromatic notes in between. Tactic number 3, watch your first valve as you lift it and it becomes the G. This will help you coordinate. Don't try to make it too clean. Really focus on the connection part of it. You can have a little bit of glissando in there. It's totally fine. For this section at 111, play the high C first so that you can make sure you're ready for it, even when you're breathing and getting ready to play the A and then the low A. For this next section of triplets, make sure that you do the same rhythmic patterns that we practiced earlier. Practice your fermatas on all the ones, the twos, and the threes of each triplet. Also, in measure 120, we might have to work on this interval between C and A, so practice it slowly first. In any interval, the lower note is probably the most important part of it. Focus on the end of the C until it becomes the A. Even watch your valve. C, A, C. And then when you do it quickly, focus again on the continuity of the air, not forcing. You can hear that I emphasize the downbeat of measure 120. The C is the important note, not the A. The A will just kind of come out if you make sure that C is a really good one. As you play from measure 131 to the end, take a nice deep breath and commit to this long line as though it's just a long tone. Try not to play too choppy and keep the pressure light. Finally, a few notes about recording. Try to find a nice resonant space to play. Here I'm at Crawford Hall at UNCSA. You might not have a large space like this, but try to find the largest space that you can. Make sure to test your mic levels beforehand before you start recording the whole thing. And make sure you give yourself enough time to really record this in detail, at least 2 or 3 sessions over the course of 2 or 3 days. Happy practicing. Feel free to reach out to me anytime if you have any questions. Take care.